Okay, so we've got the outside starting to look pretty good with the shell there, and the ceilings though are now sticking out because of the way I made them, and so it gives me a chance to do my little spiel about levels and ceilings, because you'll see that a lot of people who use Revit will make levels for their ceilings, and I do sometimes as well, but it's not required. And I think that's where people create work for themselves by basically doing too much of that. In other words, making levels where they're not needed. And you've probably seen already, once you've got too many levels, it makes the project... Oh, okay, so they're definitely needed when you have the top ceiling. So this ceiling here, I can have attached to my roof level, and that would work pretty well. But if I don't have it attached to the roof, then it might be an idea to have a level for that ceiling, because there isn't a floor up above it. But this ceiling here, and the one that goes out the back, I don't really need a level for those, because I've got a floor that's below it that I can base it off, and I've got one above. So I don't really need an extra level in between those two floor levels just for my ceiling. And the reason I always maybe recommend that you don't make them is it's partly because the way the views are set up in Revit relies on that view range option, and you can see that the top is set to the level above. So just imagine if you've got a level for the ceiling there, then this view cuts out at that ceiling level, and you need to come in here and adjust the view range and bring it up above the ceiling level. Whereas if you don't have a level for your ceiling at all, then you don't even have to touch this. It's already done. So I'll just show you that. I can't see the ceiling here because it's too high. So I'm going to go to the section where I can see this ceiling. So there's the ceiling that's in that room. And in properties, oh, so that's my floor. I'm even confusing myself because that ceiling is so high, it's up above the floor. So there's the ceiling, and again, it's too high. So over in properties, I'm going to type in a ceiling height. Remember we said it's going to be 3,000. So there, I've got the level set to ground floor, and now I can just set height offset to level to 3,000, and it comes down, and no matter what I do with the level above, that ceiling's going to remain at the same height.
Why is there still one above?
Oh, so that's the other ceiling from the other room. So we can do that at the same time. I'm just going to select it and make the height offset there 3,000 as well. And then I'll do the same with the one at the back. So I'm making them all 3,000. But then what we might find later is that this bathroom ceiling's even lower. And again, if you don't have a level for the ceilings, that's easy, because here again I can just type in a height, and let's say, I'm guessing, but it might be 2,700. So that bathroom ceiling can be lower than the other ceilings, and it's fairly easy to adjust if you do it this way. So then the ceiling on the first floor, it's probably higher than on the ground floor, but it's probably not quite that high. 3,700, that's really high. So let's make it 3,400. I'm just picking a number out of the air. So it's that easy. And the key there is that now in the ceiling plans, I can see those ceilings. Even though I can't see the edge of them, because there are walls and other things in the way, I'm going to use Tab to move the cursor onto the edge of one of my walls, and then as I press Tab, you can see now it's going to highlight that ceiling and I can select it. So that's ready to go. When I start to put my lights in, I know that it's going to work in that view. And I'll go back to the 3D view, and you can see then that we've got no ceilings that stick out.
So when you create a new ceiling, you open this inside the ceiling, but you're on the ground floor and you use it as a top offset.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. Yeah. So then the roof at the back can really be added any time. I'm tempted to leave that for now, but if you do want to put it on, keep it simple and do it as a flat roof, which I think is what it is anyway, right? So you can see that's the roof there. So you can put the roof on afterwards. Yeah. Yeah. No, downstairs 3,000. Yeah. And 3,400 upstairs.
So, what are the height?
So 3,000 for the ceiling on the ground floor.
Oh, the chances, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. I'd never really set them.
35? You said 35?
On the ground floor.
The ground floor.
No, so the upper floor I did 3,400, the first floor, and then the ground floor 3,000. Oh, you're thinking of the levels. Yeah, the level was 3,500, level 1,
Yeah.
but then the ceiling for the ground floor is 3,000. Yeah. Yeah, so you can see how when I select the ceiling there, in the properties, you've got height offset from level. That's where you type the 3,000.
Can you turn it around to the other side?
Uh, yeah, yeah. But you can see, can you see the ceiling in your section? So you should be able to see it. Yeah, I'll come over to it. But anyhow, I'll give you a second just to make sure that's all working. And
Solid lines again when you in that elevation view.
in this one, in section, so
Course.
it's coarse, yeah. If you're on fine, it'll be like that. Oh, just because your section's not cutting through your building.